Okay, so this one's a little bit different. It's an annuity problem, and it's a longer term annuity problem. It asks us to find both the future value of the annuity, and then it asks us to find the interest, to find the earnings of the annuity. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to use our typical future value formula for an annuity. And that formula goes, my future value equals my payment times 1 plus my rate divided by number of compounding or investment periods, number of periods times my time in year, minus 1, close brackets, all divided by my compounding period rate. Okay, so if that's my formula, make sure I've written it down perfectly, it's things to check. What am I going to look for? I'm given a time. My time equals 40 years. I'm given T equals 40. I'm given a rate R equals, and I'm going to convert it just because my mind works better after I've converted it. I know I'm going to get the wrong answer if I don't put the ratio value in instead of the percentage value. And then my deposit is 6,000. And my number of compounding periods is hidden in here, right? And hidden in here. And in problems I give you, these two will agree. And so this is at the end of each year, compounded annually. Well, what's that mean? That means that n equals 1 because that's only done once a year. That actually simplifies the formula greatly. There's another formula that your textbook gives you, but I actually prefer to use this one just because it's only one thing to think about, one thing to worry about. But if I plug in here, this simplifies into a much simpler version of the same formula. All right, so what am I going to get? I'm going to get 6,000 times 1 plus, all right, my rate divided by 1 is just my rate, so 0.035. That's all raised to the number of years times 1 is just the number of years, 40. Minus 1, close that, and then my rate divided by n is just my rate because it's n is 1, so 0.035. Okay, so now let's type that into a calculator and get a value. So I've got 6,000. My calculator will come on. There we go, 6,000. And times 2 sets of parentheses, 1 plus 0.035. Raise that to the 40. Take a right arrow to get out of that. Minus 1. We close the parentheses. Now we divide by, and since it's just one value, we don't have to put parentheses. If it was more than one value, we would. 0.035. And then we hit enter. What do we get? A little over $500,000. Hey, I'll take that. No. 507,301.67. Rounded to the penny. Could round to the dollar because, something like 33 cents doesn't make a lot of difference when you're talking about $500,000. So you can round that however you like, dollars or pennies. But that is the future value of the annuity. So that is what I was asked for in Part A, so I boxed that because that was the solution for Part A. Now I need to find the interest. Certain terrible jokes need to be made right now about interest being at an all-time low. What do we actually do? What is interest? Interest is the amount of money that my money earned, right? Or the amount of money that I had to pay to rent that money. So it's either the amount of money that somebody's paying me to rent my money, or it's the amount of money I'm paying somebody else to rent their money. Either way, it's money that I didn't initially invest or that I didn't initially borrow. So stuff that I didn't directly put in. Well, what did I directly put into this? I put my payment in one time a year for 40 years. So my investment, I can calculate my investment was $6,000 per year, one time a year, times 40 years. Why would I care about my investment? Because anything that's left in here that wasn't part of my investment is interest. And so I take that 6,000 times 1 times 40 is $250,000, a little under $250,000. So $240,000. And so my interest, so kind of for part B, my interest or my earnings, ING is, we'll use those to mean the same thing. That's going to be my future value minus my investment. Well, in this case, that's just going to be I equals 507,301.67 minus 240,000. Yeah, I need one more zero there. All right, so my I equals, and I'm just going to use that number. Come on. Yeah, just give me the number. Okay, whatever. 507, 301, no. 507, 301.67, close enough. 240, 123, enter. And I get that I actually have more interest earnings than principal I put in. So 267, 301.67 is my interest earned, and that's in dollars as well. Remember, I want units on answers. It's okay if you drop them off while you're actually doing the calculation, kind of the way I did here. But when you report the answer, you need to give me a unit. Otherwise, I don't know what that number means. It's just a number sitting out there. Is that number of mice that you found in a garage somewhere, or is that dollars? You until you put the units on, you can't be certain. Context can tell you a lot, but you can't be certain. Math is all about removing ambiguity. All right, I hope that helps us.